So today we're going to walk through some listening of some drum mic recording that I did. And so we did a bunch of microphones. So kick mic, snare mic, tom mics, and overheads. And so I'm going to walk through each one of those. We'll listen to them, make some comments. So first is bass drum. So I've got several bass drum mics. I have an inside mic, and then I have a sub kick. The sub kick stayed consistent throughout all of these, and then we changed the inside mic, just inside the bass drum in a hole. So like literally just inside that hole, and we tried to do that consistently. This is not super scientific, but we tried the best we could to level match and all of those kinds of things. Everything's flat. Everything was flat coming in. Everything's flat inside of Pro Tools. I'm playing everything back at 0, not adding, subtracted, level, nothing of that. And so, so the first one is the Avantone Mondo mic. And so that is their inside kick mic. It comes with their sub kick as well. You can buy it separate, but I have it with the sub kick. And so we'll listen to just that microphone, and then I'll add the sub kick to it. We'll do that with each one of them, add the sub kick, all right? So here is the Avantone Mondo, just the inside mic itself. With the sub kick. So it makes a pretty big difference when you add the sub kick in there. So next is the AKG D112, a classic. We'll do the same thing with the sub kick. I'll add and subtract the sub kick. So here's the first, we ran through these twice, as you can hear. So here's the first pass without the sub kick. With the sub kick. Makes a big difference when you add the sub kick with that mic. That's one of my favorites with the sub kick because it is kind of thin sounding. It's very, that sort of a tacky present kind of thing. The next one is a Sennheiser E602, which is their large diaphragm dynamic. And we'll do the same deal one time through without the sub kick, and then I'll add the sub kick into that. A lot of attack. Here's the sub kick. I like that as well with the sub kick. This next one, I'm just going to play just a minute of it, or less than a minute. This is the Earthworks SR20. I think this is broken, to be honest with you. So I'm not going to play very much of it. I think there was something wrong with it. Yeah, so we won't listen to that. So the next is the SE Electronics V-Kick. And so this is this is part of their drum kit. You can buy it separate too, but we have the whole drum kit, and so mic kit, and so we're utilizing all of those. So this one has some switches on it, so you can change the characteristic of the mic. This is in the classic mode, and then there's a modern mode, which is kind of like a D6 sort of. So let's listen to the classic mode without sub kick first, and then I'll add the sub kick. With the sub kick. I like that one too. Now you can see, definitely you're going to want to EQ some of these, It's a little basketball-ish. But again, you got to remember, this is all flat. I'm not doing any EQ at all. Just wanting to hear the difference of the characteristic of the bass of the microphone. And so here is the SE kick in modern setting without the sub kick. And with the sub kick now. All right, so that's the bass drum mics, all right? Now we're going to move to snare drum. And so I think we got 4 of them that we did on snare. The first is a classic, the SM57. Really listen to the difference in the way the snare drum sounds as we go through these different mics. I may just let this run so I can just tell you what I've got. So I've got the SM57, the Sennheiser E604, the SE V7X, the Earthworks DM20, and that's it. So those 4, all right? So I'm going to let them run, and then I'll make some comments at the end. So here we go. Here's snare drum. And you get to really hear the difference. Obviously, same drum, same setup. Sennheiser E604. Yes, it was the same drum. V7X. And the Earthworks. All right, my 2 cents on those. The Earthworks, I think, really sounds most natural of the drum. The V7, very focused. That's a super cardioid microphone. It's a very controlled pattern. It's very focused. It really helps with bleed as well. The 604 is just like, wow, bright, really bright. Maybe if you didn't have a bottom snare head, a snare mic, and you wanted to have just that real sizzle, and you got more of the body from overheads. 57, kind of in the middle of those. So anyway, that's the snare. Let's go to the tom mic. So we've got the E604, which is the Sennheiser microphones. And I think I'll just let these run too and then comment afterwards. So we've got the 604, then the Shure Beta 98As. That's our little small capsule condensers. The Earthworks DM20s, also small capsule condensers. And the SE V-Beats, which is the tom mics that come with that SE kit. All right, so here we go. Here's the 604s, and we're just going to let this run. Just one comment. So the forgot what I was going to say. The toms, these are 10, 14, 16. These have the drum heads on them are the Evans sort of calfskin-like heads. Yeah, so here is the Beta 98s. I'll let it run. Earthworks DM20s. And the SE V-Beats. All right, very different, as you can hear. The Earthworks, again, very open, clean, transparent, gives you what you give it. It does that really, really well. The SEs, I think, are very focused and very tom-like, if you will. None of them sound bad. They're just different. All right, overheads. I've got a bunch of different overheads. We're going to start with the Lauten LA120s. These are what I've been using lately. And so on this, we've got cymbal stuff and then full kit. And so that's the example for each one of these. So here's the Lautens. Lately, I've been using those because I like the fact that they're very cymbally, if I can say that a word. When the drums come in, you don't get a whole lot of like drum beef. You'll hear on some of the other ones you do, and I find myself high passing all of that anyway. And so I like that those are very cymbal focused in what they give you. Here's the SE Electronics. This is the SE8s. This is what comes in that kit that all the other mics come in. So here, listen to that difference of what we just talked about. There's a lot more drum in that, and a lot more, you could get away with a lot of that. The toms especially come through really clear. This is another SE microphone. I don't think they make this one anymore. This is one I've had for a long time. It's the SE1A, another small diaphragm condenser. Again, pretty full on the kit. Here's the Earthworks. Again, Earthworks give you what you give it. So let's listen to the Earthworks. All right, so that's the Earthworks. Again, I like the way those sound. Here's a classic, SM81s. These have been an industry standard for overheads for many, many years. Let's listen to those. Level was a little low on those, sorry. This is the Rode NT5, another one that I've used a lot. These are ones that most of these overheads, I think all except the SE8s are mine, and I like these ones. You'll hear kind of the difference. All right, that's the NT5s. Then we have the Neumann KM184s. Not typically a microphone I would use for overheads. I have for some reason, sometimes, but not that common. Let's check those out. You get a lot of clarity with the drums on those, and a lot of, yeah, those just have a very different characteristic. There's a lot more of this to those microphones, whereas some of the others are more of this, right? They don't have all that full range. And then the last one is the C214s, which I use those quite a bit for overheads as well. Again, very different. Big picture of the kit. You get a lot of kit on this. You could really use that a lot for the full picture. Okay, I'm going to play you two drum kit examples. So this is the SE mic kit. So this is all the SE drum mics that come in their kit. So you've got the V kick, the V7X snare mic, the tom mics are their I forget what they're called, and then the SE8s for the overheads. So we'll play a little of that. It's a good sounding mic kit. I'm a fan of those. I think they sound great. Here's the Earthworks with the SE bass drum mic, because that Earthworks bass drum mic had some issues. So we switched that out. And you'll hear the difference here with the SE. So the only SE is the kick drum. Everything else is the Earthworks stuff. It's nice. And again, the Earthworks, just a nice picture of the overall kit. You know what? I got to play that one again. I just realized the kick mics were muted. And the sub kick. One more time. Really different. All right, that's enough of that. So big difference when I add the kick mics back. Again, I would EQ that a lot different. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but it's just wide open. This is just the drum kit, all the mics wide open, all right? And I did one other little recording. I'll just play a little of this. All right, so that's just, again, just the toms kind of here. Flat, no EQ, no levels, no nothing, just the drum set. So anyway, that's the whole drum mic deal. So hopefully you enjoyed that, maybe learned some stuff through it. If you have any questions for me, you know I'm always available to, you can shoot me an email or leave a comment and I'm happy to respond, all right? Thanks so much for watching.